Had an absolute beauty of a Monday for the indices triad on December 15th. So let's break it down. I missed my entry. I could have done better. So I want to journal it. I want to document it. I want to articulate it so I can imprint it in my brain and make better decisions and wake up on time and trade the fucking market. I will give myself the benefit of the doubt is that my 9:30 is not your 9:30. It's a lot earlier in my time zone. Anywho, we have a weekly PSP is what drove this. The higher time confluence on why Monday delivered was so beautiful. It's just I have this unwavering, not hatred, but I don't like Mondays because back testing wise, like they're not my highest statistical probability for winning. But nonetheless, let's get into it before I start yapping. So weekly two stage, you have PSP, bullish PSP on YM, so it's the strongest within the range. NQ prints the weakest as it's put in the lower high, and the bearish PSP. This is put in the higher high, the bullish PSP, so we can agree that this is the strongest asset as it's trending around all-time highs, and now we are reversing off of this SMT with bearish PSP, and then ES is just kind of being the middle child here as it usually does. With the daily, you break it down, you have Friday, we are still trending higher, so that Friday itself is the all-time high day for YM. So again, it is still the strongest asset. It hit the all-time high, closed through it, then hit the key candle that hit the key level, key candle that hit the candle that hit the key level, had a small opposing run, and then dumped on it. When you have that, you have Friday just absolutely dumping on NQ, and then ES dumping as well. So it was all in all a nice day on Friday. It was nice, but it wasn't at the same time because 10 a.m. we've had this absolute terrible PA. Better on YM, not as good on ES, but just fucking chop as soon as December is open, and then it all got fucking fucked on 10 a.m. So excuse my language, but it just was devastating to get it all delivered basically in one candle. But the market offered continuations. It gave me a beautiful oyster, and I didn't get the pearl. God, I just cooked with that one. Um, so what you had was you can frame it previous or premium and discount of the EQ of Friday, or not the EQ, but the whole range, and then spot EQ to see which asset respects it the most, and then trade that one lower. If it doesn't, then it's invalidated. I just don't trade. I sit on my hands and I close the markets so I don't over leverage myself and bust accounts like I've done in the past. But I'm getting better. We get better every day. Okay, so you frame this. Let's just start new. Let's get this fucking today's candle because it's already dumped, which kind of invalidates my trading tomorrow, which is cool. It's just fucking amazing. So framed premium discount EQ. Obviously, we know this is the strongest asset, which makes sense as to why it disrespected EQ the most. This was the weakest in the range, which makes sense why it respected EQ the most. And then this one was just middle, so it kind of disrespected, but not disrespected too much. It's what ES does. So once you get into that, you can frame the 4 hour, find relevant levels. You know that you want to see EQ respected. You have a idea of what is probably going to be the stronger asset on the day and what's going to be the weakest. So you kind of can tell which one's going to form the best opposing role. Rather, is just going to respect EQ and probably trade lower and be the asset, the one to take lower. So that's what happened here. You have the day open, has a higher opposing run on YM, and then 6 a.m. comes, manipulate it. It's the candle with the most volatility drivers. It'll hold 0830 news, 0930 open, 10 a.m. Well, will fall right at the beginning of this candle, but this 6 a.m. candle on the 4 hour holds a lot of significance due to the volatility drivers that lie within it. So the manipulation due to 0930 open, you'll see at 9:30 itself. I gotta stop saying 0930 like I'm fucking sorry, yes, sir. Anywho, so no SMTs other than the higher time frame SMT here, but non intraday regarding the 4 hour chart. Just a nice C2 reversal into a 10 a.m. continuation. But once you go onto the 30-minute, you can spot the smallest of smallest SMTs that you would miss if you weren't paying close attention at open. I mean, not really, but like it's just such a small opposing run. Like, look at this fucking baby SMT here. But 0930 opens here, but at 9 a.m. we have now the strongest asset putting in the weaker candle or the bearish PSP, while the weakest asset puts in the strongest PSP. Just stats of note, I won't break it down, but that's significant in itself, and then now we have the SMT getting placed, and then the open just dumps. I took ES. The best would have been NQ due to just its overall higher time frame bias of it being the weakest asset. It offered the largest range expansion to the downside. NQ had a good trade down as well. Obviously, we can see, and I'll get into why I was a little mad. I got fucked up. I won a trade within trading to this low, or at least targeting it, but it was only one. It was like 1.2 R, and then I basically lost 0.7 R. Going here, so I barely ended up green on the day. This was so dumb. But Price, this is a reminder that Price does whatever the fuck it wants to do. We left just ultimate failure swings, and even to this is a failure swing to December's first swing back here. So I thought ES would be a nice one because it just had stacked lows and open and dumps on the new day. So you win some, you lose some. Anyways, NQ was the best. I just want to make that clear and point out my faults because I'm doing this to get better, and I should have traded NQ because that was the weakest asset. Even though it wasn't the most stacked draws, you could have still targeted previous day lower and had it absolutely ripped into it. Okay, cool. So you have the two stage here. You have the PSP, SMT. Cool. That is all the confluence you need, especially for trading continuations. And then open dumps. I mean, it just fucking open and rips and offers continuation signatures to get onside here on YM, and then down here you can get in here. I like to trade the new 10 a.m. 4 hour open just to make sure it has a small opposing run and then provides the reversal signature, or at least forms a wick, in which it does here. Boom. And then obviously, well, it doesn't on this asset, at least. It trades back higher. Anyways, let's get back into it. So yeah, then forms a wick here. Anyways, we're not going to get into the wick formation of the 10 a.m. candle. Just know that it was a nice trade down into previous day low. The trade I took was here. It was a 3-minute continuation, even though the continuation was higher that I should have taken, but it is what it is. So we were covering this high. Oh shit, motherfucker. We were covering this high here. I should have got in on this small opposing run at the open of 10. I was catching a falling knife. That's what I really wanted to articulate. This was not a good trade. Truthfully, was not a good trade. It was a 2R trade. It was kind of forcing it. I figured with how many stack draws we had, but I should know that Price does whatever the fuck it wants. But I did adjust accordingly after these two asses took it and started to retrace and then expand away. I got out. So I took this 3-minute candle and then I broke it down into a 1-minute candle, and I entered on this here specifically. So you had the high of that candle get put in here of that 3-minute we were just looking at, starts to reverse. There's no fair value gap on this expansion up. It's just kind of chopping, like it's not taking out, it's not displacing higher on any asset. So that leads me to believe, plus none of the assets have taken previous day low yet. So at that time here, I can believe that, was that previous day low? Sorry, I want to make sure I'm correct. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so NQ being the weakest and then manipulating the farthest. We're doing this shit raw, man. You either watch or you don't. You're gonna watch me fucking scroll and listen to me scroll on my wheel. Anyways, so we had NQ hit it, trade the lowest through it. Makes sense due to the higher time frame, weaker bias. But I took this candle, broke it down, and entered on the closure of this candle. Got lucky, caught this open and then body close of a nice expansion candle. I didn't like the signature as YM and NQ both had hit it, but I was like, fuck it, I am break even. We ride or die, baby. And then we had this closure. I'm like, sick. So this 2R is going to for sure hit. Because at the time, I thought all assets hit it. They're stacked lows. There's no way we should, like, this is a clean 2R trade. I get faked out. And then on the closure of this candle, I pull out for a 1.16. Was that? Yeah, it was like right here. It was like 1.23, I think. I have to check my Tradecopia and break it down after this when I journal it completely. But this was my trade. I should have just taken the break even like a fucking man. But I got out after these signatures were telling me with the SMT here at the lows, SMT here's at the lows. We already hit the two draws on NQYM. and just being a Monday, and I'm catching a falling knife in regard already to like, look, there's so many ways I could have got involved in price, and I missed this whole thing. I just really want to beat myself up about this. Oh man, this was really nice price action the day out of a Monday. It'll probably fuck up tomorrow and Wednesday, but it was nice today and it was nice Friday, so we might consolidate Tuesday, Wednesday because of this, but we shall see. We shall see. So that is my breakdown of my today trade, just how the market's traded in general for indices. Due to this large expansion, let's leave this. Due to the large expansion already on open, hopefully this just kind of consolidates, because if this continues in the overnight sessions, then I'm probably going to sit out on indices, which is sad. So I'll be looking at gold. Maybe RTY does some things. There's some daily fair value gaps that we could trade into potentially, but we already had a C2, C3, so you're trading a C4. I don't know if I exactly like it. Plus YM is now rebalancing into this fair value gap here. So we'll just have to see how the overnight sessions trade. I can't really give a read. I'm just going to have to see. So, yep, that was my breakdown. Little insight into what maybe I'm doing tomorrow, but not really, because overnight sessions just haven't traded yet. So, have a good night. Wait, what the fuck am I telling you? Have a good night. I don't know. Peace.